Hi, Grandma here, and I'm reading Adam of the Road, chapter 19, and this is looking like very positive news of Roger. And look at the picture. It looks like Adam is very happy with someone and eating well, so hopefully he's found a more reliable and trustworthy traveling partner. Long before morning, Adam decided that he would not go on with the Deveses, even though he could find them again. They were the wrong kind of minstrels. He did not want to be like them any more than he wanted to be a parish clerk. He was going to be a real minstrel, like Roger. He had lost his harp, it was true, but twice before this he'd thought it was gone and got it back again. Perhaps this time, too, he would recover it. What he must do, he told himself, breathing on his stiff fingers to warm them, was to go straight back to London and Delisle House. For a little while he thought of stopping to see Jill and John Ferryman, but he decided against that. They would be kind and welcoming, but he had no time to spare. Our Lady's Day was already past and December almost half gone. I can't believe how much time has gone by. Afraid to venture out from his hiding place till it was light, and afraid to go to sleep there, he recited the tale of Havelock the Dame to himself to keep awake. He knew it best of all Roger's tales, probably because he liked it best. When he was a real minstrel, and he was going to start being one tomorrow, this was the tale he would tell oftenest, and now was as good a time as any to practice, as any other. Soon after the King of Denmark was laid in his grave, he whispered, the Earl Goddard took the young Prince Havelock and his sisters and shut them away in a tower where they had nothing but the long mutter of the sea to keep them company. They were too young, poor children, to understand that the Earl was seizing all their land and forcing their people to swear obedience to him, but they knew they were hungry and cold. Saying the words over and over to himself in the dark and cold under the bridge, Adam thought that he had never really understood Havelock before. In spite of yesterday's mutton and meat pie, he was hungry again, and so cold that he ached all over. Pretending that the icy stream sleeping past in the blackness was a room full of people, he went on with the tale. How the evil Goddard hired Grim the fisherman to carry Havelock out in a sack and drown him. How at midnight a golden light shimmered all around the sack and stood up from Havelock's mouth like a flower stem, and how Grim knew from that he was the true Lord of Denmark. Lord, forgive me, cried Grim, kneeling at Havelock's feet. I will take care of you till you can ride a horse and bear spear and helmet, and Goddard shall not know you are alive. I'll bring you milk and bread and cheese and custard pastries, fine fare if I do say so. It's true enough, the old proverb, whom God will help, no man can harm. When Havelock had eaten his fill, Grim made a soft bed for him, undressed him, put him in it, saying, sleep, son, sleep tight and fear nothing. Your sorrow has turned to joy. Milk and bread and cheese and custard pastries. Ah, repeated hungry Adam, but when the first gray streaks of morning came, he said stoutly, whom God will help, no man can harm. And scrambling out from under the bridge, he washed his face in the river and set forth. He took the path along the river, but turned to the left before he came to the ferry, and made his way over a hill and down again into a thick beech wood. The morning mist curled up among the wet, dry, gray trunks of the tree. Once he met Fox with a chicken in his mouth, and once a squirrel scolded him shrilly from a bough overhead. But except for them, he seemed to be alone in an empty world. The path climbed another hill, and this time brought him out on an open height covered with fine grass, which was green, still in spite of the cold. The sun was up now and glistened on the wet stones of a little chapel which had been built there for the spiritual comfort of pilgrims. It looked lonely and forlorn, for few pilgrims came this way in the winter. Beyond the valley, where mist rose from a river hidden among the trees, The bare downs hunched their shoulders into the sunshine, and the broken chalk tracks of the way gleamed white and dazzling. In the valley were villages, Share and Gomshall and Watton, but Adam took the path up over the downs. He did not want to meet people who might question him, and particularly he did not want to go to Gomshall. Its name had risen so readily to Lawrence's tongue last night that Adam thought it must be the place the DeVessis were in the habit of going to. He felt kindly toward Jack and Allison, especially Allison, and Andrew and Lawrence, but he did not wish to meet with them today, not even to get his harp back. As he walked along in the cold sunshine, he thought about all the things he'd lost, and presently he found himself making up a song about them. "Silver pennies once I had," he sang to a little tune that seemed to come with the words. "Jingling pennies made me glad. Now they're gone from me. Where they are, I do not know. Like an arrow from a bow, they are gone from me." It was a nuisance not having the harp, but his hands were swollen and sore with chilblains that he could not have played it very well anyway. He was lucky not to have a sore throat. He made the next verse about the harp. "Once a harp hung by my side, merry music was my guide. Now it's gone from me. Where it is, I cannot tell. Like the leaves that slowly fell, it is gone from me." He felt dreadfully sad when he sang about his harp. It wasn't as if Andrew could really play it. All he could do was pick out a few chords. Losing his harp was the next thing to losing Nick. "Once I had a little dog, gaily down the road we jog. Now he's gone from me. Where he is, I cannot say. Like the winds of yesterday, he is gone from me." Now the sun went under a cloud, and everything at once looked grayer and bleaker and colder. "Sorrow to my heart is come," Adam sang. Losing Roger was the worst of all, but somehow it made him feel a little better to find words and a tune to it. "Cold has made my fingers numb." Actually, instead of being numb, they were fiercely hurting, but numb rhymed. At this point, he came on a peddler who was sitting on his pack and eating his dinner by the side of the path. Good, he thought. If he was really going to be a minstrel, here was the chance to begin. Now, more than ever, Adam wished for his harp. He scarcely knew how to announce himself without it. He was painfully aware that he did not look like a minstrel in his brown cloak and hood. Remember, he now looks like a clerk because the priest and his sister threw out his clothes and gave him new clothes. Suddenly, he threw himself on his hands, turned cartwheels in a circle all around the astonished peddler, who stopped chewing and let his mouth hang open while he watched. "Good morrow, fair sir," said Adam when he was right side up. He found he was a little breathless but not dizzy. "Good. Wouldn't you like a little minstrelsy with your dinner? It cheers the heart and aids digestion. All the great lords know that, or why would they give minstrels gifts of fine coats and dapple-gray war horses?" "I have no coats nor war horses to give away," said the peddler morosely. "If I had, I'd be wearing one and riding the other. I wouldn't be here. I'd be in Naples where it's warm." He took a bite out of the chicken leg he held in his hand. More of the chicken lay on a bit of linen cloth on the ground beside him. Adam eyed it hungrily. "I'll tell you the tale of Havelock the Dane for a penny," he said persuasively, "or I'll sing you a song that no one has ever heard before for the drumstick." The peddler looked up at Adam with a sudden softening in his wrinkled, monkey-like little face. "Hungry?" he said. Adam nodded. "Drumstick first," said the peddler, "song afterward." He sure meets a lot of kind people along the way. It was the best drumstick that Adam had ever tasted, roasted to a turn and well-flavored, full of meat. He ate every scrap, and then he sucked the bone. How he wished he could give that bone to Nick. The peddler watched him. "Have a wing," he suggested. "Song next," said Adam, licking his fingers. Holding his arm as if he had a harp and plucking the air where the strings should be, He sang the song he had just made that morning, and as he sang, the rest of the last stanza came to him. Sorrow to my heart is come, cold has made my fingers numb, hunger has its sting. Still I'll sing through every day till my sadness goes away, like winter in the spring. Winter! Exclaimed the peddler. How I hate it! A nasty, cold, wet, disagreeable season. He did not say whether he liked the song or not, but he held out a piece of the breast instead of a wing, and Adam decided he'd rather have food than praise. Live around here? Asked the peddler. I'm a minstrel, replied Adam proudly. I live on the road. Well, you don't look like much of a minstrel, but you can sing all right. Spend last night in Guilford? Not right in Guilford, replied Adam cautiously. Near it. Why? Which way did you come? Persisted the peddler. Over the hill with the chapel. St. Martha's. You must have been down at Shalford. Did the hue and cry spread down there? I don't know, said Adam, quaking inside. His voice wavered, but he forced himself to go on as carelessly as he could. Did they raise the hue and cry in Guilford? Did they? I was there, and I was out shouting with the rest of them. A band of robbers came in after curfew, and the watch found them trying to break into that new Flemish glover's shop. 10 of them there were, great giants of men. They knocked down the watch and stamped on him. Did they get caught? Asked Adam anxiously. Caught? Can you catch a mad bull? All Guilford was out after them, but nobody could hold them. One of them went past me with his eyes gleaming red in the dark, like the king of hell himself. It was all Adam could do not to laugh outright at this picture of 5 thin, frightened minstrels. Roger used to say that the faster news ran, the bigger it grew. In other words, the faster the gossip or the news went, then the more exaggerated it became. Where are they now? He asked. The peddler raised his hands, let them drop. Gone, he said dramatically. Clean gone. Probably they have a hideout somewhere. Adam wondered what the peddler would do if he were to say suddenly, one of them is sitting beside you this minute. Boo! Reluctantly, he gave up the idea, though it would be fun. At any rate, the Deveses had escaped. Now Adam need think about them no more. He told the peddler all about his adventure with Don Williams and Sir Robert de Ridewell, and the peddler who had known the merchants somewhere was so interested that he gave Adam half a penny. The silver penny with King Edward's head on it was the only coin minted in England then, but people sometimes broke them in two and used the halves. They went on together till they came almost to Burford Bridge, and then the peddler turned south to Dorking, and Adam went on to the inn in West Temple Lane, where he and Roger had slept that night, nearly 4 months ago, the night that Nick had been stolen. The innkeeper and his energetic wife and the old gaffer all came running when the maid first saw Adam and called out that he was back. Where have you been? Demanded Dame Clarice, and your poor father hunting for you high and low all over the south of England. I've been in Winchester, answered Adam, feeling that her tone of blame was undeserved, but not taking the time to explain. Do you know where Roger is? In Winchester? It's very strange that he did not see you there. He looked for you all over the city and all over the fair. And he could have got your dog for you if you had been there, but the magistrate would not seem to get the story straight in his mind without seeing you. Where's Roger now? Insisted Adam, ready to jump out of his skin with suspense. Hey, where's your harp? Put in the gaffer. You used to make good music with that harp. I lent it to a fellow who didn't give it back, said Adam. Is Roger in London? Well, that was careless of you, said Clarice disapprovingly. What will Roger say to that? Oh, don't torture the lad, protested the innkeeper. Let me tell him where his father is. He's gone to London to the Delisles, boy. He thought perhaps you'd remembered that he had to be back for Christmas and had gone looking for him there. He came here from Winchester to get the horse, and then he rode back to Winchester again hunting for you. Now and then he met somebody who told him a lad had been looking for a minstrel and a dog, but he never did find you. So he went off to London, thinking you must be there. Adam's spirit soared. Roger had not disappeared from the face of the earth. Roger had not forgotten all about him. He felt ashamed that in his most unhappy moments he'd almost thought that. Roger was riding all over southern England on Bayard looking for him, and tomorrow he would go straight to London and find Roger. Then together they would find Jenkin and get Nick back. Well, I hope that he does find his dad soon, because I don't have that many more pages left in the book. Anyway, the next chapter is called What Have You Done With Him? And it's a picture of a boy, and I'm guessing that he's accusing the man that's sitting down. But do you think that man is Jenkin and he's asking, what did you do with him, meaning his dog, Nick? Or what did you do with him, meaning his dad, Roger? Or what did you do with him, the harp? Good questions. Bye-bye.